Hussain became increasingly controlling. There were then multiple instances of men attending her home address. The messaging they received began to escalate. They'd been told that she wanted to engage in a, quote, rape fantasy, that if she said no, she wanted it more, and that she wanted to be, quote, roughed up. I am PCE Keith Terrell from the Harm Reduction Unit investigation team, and I was the officer in charge of the stalking case involving Asad Hussain. This case began in the middle of April 2024, with Asad Hussain operating under the alias of Mick Rennie, making contact with the victim via social media. The two then met and a relationship started to develop, with the pair going on multiple dates. During the course of this brief relationship, Hussain became increasingly controlling. Matters came to a head on the 6th of May 2024. Hussain took control of the victim's phone and accessed it without her permission. Hussain assaulted the victim. Following this, the victim curtailed the relationship with Hussain. Hussain then made multiple attempts to rekindle the relationship, making contact with her via WhatsApp, but also contacting her friends and her daughters. After Hussain's attempts to rekindle the relationship were rebutted by the victim, there were then multiple instances of men attending her home address, reporting having matched with her on Tinder and been invited around on the pretense of going on a date. This began in late 2024 and continued through August and into the September. During a single evening, 4 different unconnected men all attended the victim's home address, all reporting having matched the same Tinder account and received almost identical messages. As this continued, the messaging they received began to escalate. At the start, they were given her phone number and instructed to phone that. As time went on, they were instructed to knock onto her home address, and then some of them will receive instructions that she was waiting inside for them and that they should enter her home address. Others then received communications that the front door was stiff and that they should give it a shove. Alarmingly, towards the end of the course of conduct in September 2024, some of the men informed the victim that they'd been told that she wanted to engage in a, quote, rape fantasy, that if she said no, she wanted it more, and that she wanted to be, quote, roughed up. So following reports to the police in September 2024, an investigation was launched, initially headed by response officers from Northwich Local Policing Unit. Initially, they were unable to identify a Mick Rennie on any policing systems, and the victim remained unaware that Mick Rennie was in fact Asad Hussain. The victim showed response officers video doorbell footage of Mick Rennie attending a home address, and officers identified that he travelled to the address driving a white Audi R8 sports car. Having identified this, officers conducted checks on the sports car and identified that it was registered to Asad Hussain and insured to his business. This prompted further checks, which allowed officers to positively identify that the Mick Rennie who attended the victim's home address was in fact Asad Hussain, who resided in Cheadle. We conducted a multitude of different inquiries, including taking statements from the men who attended the victim's home address, reviewing ANPR data, and conducting telecommunications inquiries. Through these, we were able to establish that Hussain had created 2 different fake Tinder accounts containing images of the victim and her details, including her date of birth. We were able to identify that every time the accounts were active, Hussain had travelled from the Cheadle area into the Northwich area and had actually spent multiple hours at a time parked in a lay-by on the A556. Inquiries identified that in September 2024, Hussain acquired an additional phone number, and using this he made contact with the victim, pretending to be one of the men that he himself was inviting around to her home address. In doing so, Hussain asked the victim multiple questions, inquiring about what effect the stalking was having on her and whether she had contacted police and whether police had identified that he was the culprit. With Mick Rennie now identified as being Asad Hussain, efforts were made to locate and to arrest him. Hussain was arrested on the 6th of October 2024, having been located by Cumbria Police in the Carlisle area.